one of the things that we always tell people, you will qualify to buy a house. Buy a house is not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes getting in the process and knowing the steps that you need to take to be able to qualify.
Welcome to the Dream Home Podcast, the show where real estate meets real talk. Hosted by John Nagle, a seasoned expert with over $7 billion in real estate financing experience. This podcast features top realtors, builders, and financial pros. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we've got the tools to help you make smarter moves. Here's your host, John Nagle.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dream Home Podcast, the show that helps you navigate the exciting world of homeownership with expert advice, inspiring stories, and practical tips. I'm your host, John Nagle from CMG Home Loans. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Daniella Ottone, Team Leader of the Ottone Group at eXp Realty, a top bilingual realtor in Jacksonville, Florida. Originally from Chile, Daniella has been a powerhouse in the real estate and mortgage industries for over 21 years. She's a trusted guide for first-time buyers, investors, and the Hispanic community, and the host of the Spanish-language real estate radio show, Vienes Raíces Hoy, Real Estate Today on 106.9 FM Rumba. We're diving into her incredible journey, her superpowers in real estate, and the advice that's helping hundreds of families achieve their dream of home ownership. Let's jump in. Well, Danielle, thanks so much for joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So Danielle, let's kick this off with something that makes you stand out. What would you say are your superpowers as a realtor, and why do so many buyers and sellers trust you?
I think my superpower is actually my background. That has helped me a lot on real estate. I started the business in the financial side. So I was a mortgage broker for a very long time until 2007 when the market fell. I closed doors, but then I started working as an underwriter. So I was an underwriter for a very long time too. I was a senior underwriter for big banks. I trained underwriters. So my understanding of the back end of the transaction makes my customers have an easier way through in the process. And I'm very hands-on. So that knowledge has helped me a lot, and that has made a big difference.
Yeah, that is a big advantage, having kind of not only the lending side, but the underwriting side, which are two, as you know, distinctly different pieces of it to help comfort your buyers. And also, you kind of can tell early on if there's going to be little bumps in the road, then you can address those quickly rather than finding out, later on in the process. So that is an awesome advantage for sure. So what's something buyers often tell you after working with you and your team for the first time?
Oh, I'm so used to making videos. I do videos at closing. So a lot of them I post them online, but they thank us. They thank us the process. They thank the fact that everything was so transparent, that they understood everything they were going through, that there was a helping hand there with more calm, right, than they are, because they're going through a process that is new to them. We do this every day, and we understand certain things that happen in the way, and to us, it doesn't stress us anymore. But for them, it's stressful. It's new to them. They have all their emotions in, and the fact that we are there for them, being able to answer any question, the reason why maybe the bank is asking you this type of documentation, why they want to see this letter, why they're asking for this, and we can explain that is big for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So buying a home can feel overwhelming, especially for first-timers or people relocating from another country. How do you help clients who are nervous or unsure where to begin?
We do a one-on-one first. I always do the appointment either here at the office with the customer, or if they're out of the country, which we do have a lot of customers that they come now from other countries to purchase. We do it via Zoom. So I always start just asking questions. I want to know about them. I want to know what their goals are, what they're looking for. We talk finances. We talk about the market. And based on what they're looking for, we give them the best approach we think they should go. And that's how we handle it. So we are very one-on-one with the customer. It's just when we give them an action plan, the action plan is custom to them, to what they need to do to be able to buy a house. Because one of the things that we always tell people, you will qualify to buy a house. Buy a house is not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes getting in the process and knowing the steps that you need to take to be able to qualify. So a lot of customers, when they come, maybe they don't qualify the first time they come in the office, but we give them this action plan and they will be able to buy a house maybe 2, 6 months, a year from now, but they will be able to buy the house if they follow the steps that we give them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so rewarding when you bring someone through that process and give them that strategy and that plan. Maybe they need to save up a little bit. Maybe they need to work on getting the credit score up a little bit, but it's definitely rewarding at the end of that journey once you get somebody into a new home for sure. So can you share a time when you helped a client overcome a big challenge, maybe a financing hurdle or tricky negotiation?
Oh, yeah, we do that all the time. Like right now, I'm going through it right now. We have a file that should have closed this week, and actually it's going to close now Monday. But we had the last minute situation with the appraisal that came lower.
Okay.
And it came a lot lower. It came like $25,000 lower.
Oh my.
And we already negotiated closing costs for the buyer, and the seller is also paying commission. So there's a lot of money that the seller is giving us. But now we're reducing the sales price. But we're kind of very tight on numbers. So we have been going back and forth and try to come up to an agreement. And finally, everybody's putting some contribution on it so we can make it to closing. And she's happy. I got out of the phone call like 5 minutes before I got into this podcast with you. So this is exciting, and we're closing Monday.
Oh, congratulations. That was not an easy one to get through. I'm sure that's a big number, 75,000. My goodness.
Yeah.
So I love this part of the show, Danielle. Tell us about an awesome experience or client story that's really stayed with you.
Oh, God. My customers, the line of customers that I work with, I work the Spanish market. That's my market. That's 90% of what I close. I do have, the other markets, but 90% of what I close, maybe 95% of it is the Spanish market, because a lot of it comes from the radio show. And, it's the market that I have been since I came to the States. I came in 97. And when I decided to start venturing into the mortgage industry, that was my target market too. So for me, it's very dearing all the time. It gets to my heart trying to help my community. But what I can tell you, most of the stories, I do have so many stories, but this week, for example, I closed a young couple. They're in their 20s. They're probably she's 25, he's 27. They were told that they could not buy a house. So, and the entire family was discouraging them. The sister bought with me last year, but now she was buying, and the sister was like, no, you cannot buy a house. Don't do it. Just go for renting. So she called, and we put her in an action plan. She did everything that we told her to do. Long story short, they bought a new construction. They bought a brand new house, a beautiful house in a really nice neighborhood. And they were crying. We were crying. It was a very emotional closing, because they felt that nobody was giving them the hand to try to achieve what they wanted. And we were there, no, you can do it. Just follow the steps. You'll be fine. And it wasn't an easy transaction. It was not easy at all, because we did have to do a lot of letters of explanation, a lot of documentation behind it. But it was done. It was done, and we went through, and it was an awesome closing. So those kind of things, they really touch me.
Yeah, that is really inspiring, especially the part where they were getting discouraged. And so that seems unusual, right? From the family member discouraging them, and you were able to show them the path and get them into that dream that they were looking for to own their own home.
Yeah.
So that's
They
awesome.
did not anybody.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So, what keeps you inspired day after day in this business?
You know what I do? I love it. It's the industry that I like to be in because I feel like I'm helping so much and I'm helping the community. And not every file is the same. Every case is totally different from the other one. So it's not boring. It's always something that you're learning, something that you have to figure out. And for me, that is exciting. And the fact that right now I have a big team and we can help so many people at the same time, I love it.
Yeah, that's terrific. So you've got such a unique background, having owned a mortgage company and worked as a senior underwriter. What resources or tools do you use to make the process smoother for your clients?
We do a lot of communication. We communicate a lot. Normally, when I get a customer, I will assign it to one of the agents. So they have already 2 agents working the file with the customer. So that is there. We have an assistant that is always doing follow-ups and things. We do a lot of video calls, video messaging. We stay in contact. And we like that the lenders that we work with, they are in constant communication. So we don't allow people to get frustrated, like, that they cannot reach us. They will always reach somebody. So that to me is really important.
Yes, that is definitely important. And the benefit of being able to do a Zoom call and get them super comfortable and knowing that you'll always be there and someone will be there to reach out to. So that's definitely very important and a reason, I'm sure, why you're so successful. So are there any special programs, down payment assistance options, or lender perks that you often recommend to your buyers?
Oh, we use all of them. we use a lot of down payment assistance because a lot of our customers are first-time home buyers. So we do a lot of down payment assistance. The program that I have been promoting lately, and it's from you guys, the all-in-one program.
Yes, that's a great program.
I love that program because allows somebody that now, if you get it out of the first-time home buyer, right, an investor, and somebody that is self-employed, to create that leverage that they can actually continue buying using their own funds and paying off their mortgage really fast.
Yes.
And being able to not manipulate, but have control over the interest rate that they're paying on the mortgage. So it's an awesome product that you guys have.
Yes, it really is, to be able to have that benefit of having that capital available for other investment, like you said, paying down their mortgage on a daily or weekly basis so that they're lowering the interest rate effectively and paying it off over a much shorter period of time, which again gives you an effectively much lower interest rate at the end of the day. So that is a great program. And what's interesting about that is it's something that has been common in some parts of other countries, but just hasn't been here in the U.S. So we're very unique at CMG that we have that. And I love that program as well. It's a great program.
Yeah.
So walk us through the experience of working with you from the first meeting to closing day. What can buyers and sellers expect from the Ottone Group?
Okay, so the way our process goes, we don't answer too many questions over the phone the first time. The first time is the appointment. So at that appointment, which is, again, face-to-face, we give them about 45 minutes to an hour of our time, in which we ask a lot of questions. Again, what are their goals, what they're trying to achieve? Is this going to be the only house that you want to buy? Or your goal is to continue buying, maybe buy this property to later on rent it and buy a second one? What are your goals? And based on that, we create like an action plan for them. So if the customer is ready to go, if we see that, they have a good credit score, if they have all the documents ready and we're good to go, we'll submit them with the lender right away. And we send a full, I'm so in my underwriting and mortgage, broker's mind still. So when I send files, I send full files. So we scan everything. We send it directly to the lender. We communicate with the lender. So when they get, they're ready to go. They should be able to run credit. They should be able to do everything, analyze income, everything, and just start moving forward. Once we get the pre-approval, we out looking for houses for them immediately. And then once we get under contract, where we are there again every step of the way, because we have always this communication barrier. The customers, they speak Spanish, is their main language, and even if they speak English, they are more comfortable doing business on their own language. So, and mortgages and our business has so many technical words that they don't use on a daily basis. So we still have to, explain what is this, why you're signing this, what is that is going to come after this. So we are constantly there with them. And I participate in all my closings. I go to each one of my closings. I translate all of my closings. So we are there all the way to the end.
Yeah, that's an excellent point about the special language that's in the mortgage business, because even if you're English speaking, there's all these words that you're not used to. And why do I need this? And why do I need that? And all these, especially after, the economic crisis, a lot of new rules and regulations came into effect, which is, I think good, because it protects buyers from, over borrowing, like maybe some were before 2008 with the way the rules were set up. So yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's got to be very comforting to have you there at the closing to explain things, because there's a lot of pieces of paper that have come across the table during the closing.
And the finances are different. The way that they handle finances or maybe mortgages in their country is totally different than it's over here. So it's completely foreign to them.
Yeah, it definitely is. I actually just had a closing of a family that came from Spain. Actually, they sold a family home in Spain, and it was a whole different world with the way that the process worked and the closing. And I had another one from South Africa, and they wouldn't give us a date of the closing, if you can imagine. Well, it'll be 6-8 weeks, something like that. We don't know, but like, how can you? It's totally different. You're right. It's totally different here. So for someone who's on the fence about buying or selling, what's your biggest piece of advice?
Buy when you're ready. Sell when you're ready. You cannot pressure that. I don't like to pressure people. You just can educate them and give them the options that they have, but I don't pressure to buy or to sell. I give them the information and allow them to make their own decision.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy, because you don't want to, push somebody into something until they're totally comfortable and totally ready and totally understand, what the process is and then the benefits and the other things, risks that are involved. So I think that's really good advice. So Daniella, thank you so much for sharing your story and insights with us today. For anyone out there thinking of buying or selling in Jacksonville or Northeast Florida, Daniella Ottone and the Ottone Group are the team to call. You can connect with Daniella through the links in our show notes, check out her website, social media, and tune into her radio show, Bienes Raíces Hoy, Real Estate Today on 106.9 FM Rumba. And if you're looking to get pre-approved or explore your financing options, visit us at dreamhomepodcast.com or reach out to me at CMG Home Loans. We're here to make your homeownership journey smooth and stress-free. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the Dream Home Podcast. And Daniella, thank you so much. We really appreciate your joining. This has been a really fun journey today.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Dream Home Podcast, hosted by John Nagle. Ready to take the next step toward your dream home? Visit www.dreamhomepodcast.com for resources, tips, and expert advice. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time for more real estate insights and mortgage tips. Until then, happy home hunting.